Hello guys, in this tutorial we are going to create this 3D ring typography animation. It was a very popular reel on the Dribble and very much requested tutorial from my audience. Well, you can do it on any other 3D program also, but I'm going to use After Effects and Cinema 4D for it. Let's do it now. First thing first, create a new composition for the text. So I'm going to keep it 1080 by 200 pixels. Now type the text whatever you want. Like me, it's my choice. Put it in the center of the comp. Well, I always prefer to use a line panel to do it perfectly, both horizontally and vertically. Okay, so for my composition, size is looking bigger than the text. So let's reduce height to 150 pixels. Well, it's still big, maybe 130 pixels. Yeah, that's fine. And width is looking good to go. But if you want, you can reduce it a bit. That won't affect our animation. Let me close these extra panels to get more room because it's time to create some animation. And I'm simply going to create a mask over it. Add a keyframe to mask path. Move 1 second 20 frames forward. Add a keyframe here. Now on the first keyframe, select these points. And holding shift key, let's move these like this. Add 30 pixels of mask feather. Now select both keyframes and let's add easy ease to it. Let's go to graph editor. I'm sorry, just select one keyframe here. Now here let's add some ease at the end of the animation. Let's check it. Well, that's good, but let's slow it down a bit more, maybe up to 2 seconds. Let's check it. Well, that's good, but let's slow it down a bit more, maybe up to 2 seconds. Yeah, that's better. Now let's duplicate it 2 more times and change middle text color, say blue, and bottom one's color to orange. Now just offset each layer by 15 frames. Well, it's not hard-coded value. It doesn't matter. Keep it according to you. It will play something like this. Very simple animation. Now create a new composition. Let's call it texture tile. And width will remain same as of the first composition, but height must be 10 times of the first one, that is 1300 pixels. Now put first comp here. Now open position parameter and move it to upper side. 70 pixels to be precise. Now duplicate it 9 more times, that is there will be 10 copies in total. Now what we do, we will select each layer one by one and move that downwards. Just fill all inside the composition. We will manage the gap later on. Now select all layers, go to window menu, open a line panel and distribute all vertically. Just close it now. Now again, we will have to offset layers and I'm going to offset each by 15 frames. And remember, I'm using left bracket key to snap the starting point of the layer with the playhead. Okay? We don't need to render whole timeline. Just see where animation is finishing. And press N key to shrink work area bar. Now let's add this composition to the render queue. And And let's change its format to TIFF sequence. And I also want to retain alpha channel, but I don't want a transparent background. So let's go back to the texture tile composition and create a black solid layer. Put it below to all layers. Now go to render queue again and select the location and name. So here I have created a folder named TIFF. Just hit save and give any name to the file, whatever you want. Now render it. Well, it's done. Time to work on Cinema 4D. So the very first thing you have to do, open render settings and change width and height to 1080 pixels or whatever you want. And in anti-aliasing tab, set it to best. Now go to save settings and here set a location where you want to save your rendered output. So I'm going to create a new folder named Cinema, and under it I also choose file name, again Cinema. Just close it. Now in project settings, always check for frame rate. It should be same as of the After Effects. Mine was 29.97 in After Effects, so nothing to change here. But I forgot to show you, same should be in render settings also. Here it is in output section. Now let's create a torus. Go to display and let's make visible meshes. Go to display and let's make visible meshes. Till now it's not that smooth, so let's increase number of meshes to 72, just double of the default. And under coordinates tab, rotate it to 25 degrees. Now whole magic lies under material, so let's create a new one. Double click on it. Here I don't need color and specular, we just need luminance. Let's apply the texture that we have exported from After Effects. Just to select first one and hit open, and I don't want to copy images to the project location, so just say no. Now click on the texture name, go to animation tab, and here set timing to exact frame in order to just to synchronize animation. Now hit on calculate. So there should be 203 frames to complete the animation which we have created in After Effects. Now just close it and increase number of frames to 203. Stretch it out. Now just drop this material on the torus. If you check, nothing will show up. So let's go in between of the animation. If you check, nothing will show up. So let's go in between of the animation and check this now. Here it is. But text is stretching. So what we can do, we can increase tile in horizontal direction by 2. It will just repeat the texture. Still, it's not looking good. So let's increase tile number to 3. Well, that's pretty good. Now, since the animation is not complete yet, so whole text is not showing. So let's move further on the timeline, maybe 160 frames. Yeah, here it is. Now I want to push animation towards inner side so that on the outer surface there will be complete text. For that, let's offset it in vertical direction by 30%. Well, I don't want animation hide completely. It should reflect little bit over here. So let's change offset value to 25. Still not perfect, maybe 20%. All right, that's how I want it to be. Now, time to animate it. Just right click on offset parameter and add a keyframe here. Now, since we have kept time lag of 15 frames in between each animation layer, so we will have to add next keyframe after 15 frames, that is on 175 frame. And here let's decrease offset value by 10% because we have 10 copies in texture tile composition in After Effects. Now again add a keyframe here. So if you check its preview on this time, you'll observe that it is same as of the 160th frame. You understand that? Now one thing left. Let's set layout to animation mode. Here select the texture and select F-curve mode. Just a second. Okay, here's animation graph. Now select both. Okay, here's animation graph. Now select both points and change interpolation value from spline to linear. Now before rendering it, I want to show you that we have already specified location for saving rendered output. And here you can select if you want to render it in any other format. Just one thing, I also want to retain alpha channel here. Close it. If you want to render it now, it will just render one frame. So open render settings again, and in output tab you have to specify from which frame to which frame you want to render. Here we want to render it from 160th frame to 174th frame, not 175, 174. It will be 15 in total. Now just render it out. If you want to preview it, just hit play button. If you want to preview it, just hit play button. And here it is. Now again jump to After Effects, create a new composition of 1080 by 1080 pixels. I'm calling it main. Let's import our new TIFF sequence. Make sure here sequence is checked. Hit OK. Hit OK. Put it on the timeline. And I'm shrinking work area bar. It's ready to play or edit if you want so. Like if you want to change color of the background, then create a new solid layer. Since we have retained alpha channel, so it won't create any problem. I will definitely encourage you to do it with any other shape as well. Hope you like it. Please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.